you've gone on NoFap. Maybe it's 7 days, maybe it's a month, and you're starting to improve, but you're noticing that your corn-induced ED or ED problems are not improving at all. In today's video, I'm going to break down exactly why that is and what you need to do about it immediately. Now, I've gone over 500 plus days on NoFap and even cured my own corn-induced ED. In today's video, we're going to break down exactly what you need to do to change the situation so you can finally live your best life. Now, number one, right, the majority of you are not even consistent enough to see those type of results, right? When we think about it, right, if you compare, right, the time that you've been addicted, right, and fapping and doing all those things compared to the time away from it, it's very slim. Right, a lot of you expect to see results just within a couple days when you've had a certain habit and have been living a certain type of lifestyle for years and years on end, right? So it's unrealistic to say that you're going to change one thing and everything is going to change for you, right? So we have to think in terms of long periods of time, right? Think in terms of months, right? Instead of just, oh, weeks here, I'm tracking here, small, and I'm not seeing the type of progress when it's really not that much time, right? It takes time for your mind and body, of course, to catch up, right? Your mind has to rewire, right? Once you take a break from it. And when you're having that rewiring, right, you have to just chill and understand that it's going to take time to fix this problem. It is not an overnight issue, but it is possible, right? And with that time that you have, that you're abstaining, you can do so many other things. But a lot of you that are watching this, right, you're not even consistent with the time away, right? Because, returning back to it, right, and edging and doing those things is actually bringing you to the worst side, right? Because you're always wiring in one direction, right? It's either positive or negative. And if you think about it, a lot of times what you guys are tending to do is, right, you're edging, you're relapsing, you're taking a small glimpse, and that's literally bringing you back to regress in the progress that you've already made, right? So it's understanding that this is not always a linear picture, but think big picture and long-term blocks. Think 30 days, think in terms of months. Have things improved over months or not, right? Now, number two, your lifestyle is not changing, right? Now, when we talk about this, right, it's one thing to be consistent on NoFap. Let's say you are consistent on NoFap, right? But it's another thing to use that extra time, energy, and attention you have to actually make a difference in your overall health, right? So things like if you're overweight, right, if you're living a sedentary lifestyle, and this can hit anyone, right? Especially sedentary with nowadays, how all the technology just, tends to keep people inside. That can literally hit anyone. So remember that, right? Because it's one of those things that can creep up on you. And a lot of people overlook that, right? You see me, I'm standing while I'm recording the video. That's to combat, right, this type of sedentary lifestyle that comes with a lot of, online businesses that you're in one location, right? Maybe you work remote as well, or you're an online school, right? These are all factors that could contribute to that and kind of sneak up on you, right? Now, what I was saying is with that, and if you're learning something new from this video, man, please hit the like button so we can help grow the channel and you can see more videos just like this. Now, what happens when you start to not improve the lifestyle, right, is you get the same type of results. You're eating the same low quality food, right? You're eating all these seed oils and junk food and sugar. It's keeping you addicted. And you wonder why, right? You can't be consistent on streaks and your body doesn't, produce the type of results that you want. Well, it's all an input and output relationship, right? What you put in is exactly what you will get out, right? It's very simple, right? You reap what you sow. So you have to understand that all the time that you've had this negative habit, right? You were sowing those seeds that are not going to grow into anything, right? But you also, when you're taking the time to improve on your situation and try to fix it, right, and do those small things here and there that help you to improve, you're going in the right direction, right? And of course, this includes things like sleep, right? Sleep is huge, right? When we're talking about lifestyle, you can't have a good lifestyle without high quality sleep. It's it's very simple, right? A lot of people tend to overlook it, and especially in our hustle culture society, stress will literally kill you, right? Sleep literally helps you combat stress, right? Helps you feel rejuvenated. Your brain, it clears out all the toxins, right? Prevents a lot of diseases. You have to sleep, and especially consistent. And I'm someone who's trying to improve on this as we speak, because that's a tough one for me. But I know, right, that literally sleep allows you, it changes your hormones as well, right? Because you have to understand that sleep is the process that heals the mind and the body, right? And it's how you recover. And if you're not recovering each day to your maximum capacity, or at least at a good rate, right, it will catch up to you. And whether that's you being anxious all the time, right, or you just not being as confident as you want, you overthinking things, it will absolutely catch up to you. So you have to get the proper sleep. Find some way to track your sleep, right? And try to go to bed at the same time each night. It's so hard, right? I'm not going to tell you it's easy, especially with the phone scrolling at night and the TVs and all the artificial light. But I'm telling you, it will pay off for you, right? And also just hydration in general, right? I'm going to grab my water right now, but as we can see, you want to be getting your hydration in, right? Again, another thing that it's these small things that people tend to overlook, right? Because if you're consistent, right, with the NoFap, you're isolating variables, and all you need to do next is just look at the rest of it, right? So make sure you're drinking enough water, right? And ideally, you're drinking out of glass so we can avoid the microplastics, right? But get the hydration and try to drink, a gallon of water a day, or at least do the math to find out exactly how much you need to drink per day, right? I'll take a sip. And what that's going to do, right, is when you're hydrated, right? Hydration is literally the foundation, right, of blood flow, right? So if you want to increase your blood flow, make sure you have good performance, you have to drink your water, right? Now, once we look at these lifestyle factors, right, another big one, right, and I was kind of hinting at it before, is just stress in your life, right? Now, stress can come in so many different forms and factors. And I was saying before, stress can literally kill you. And that's not even an exaggeration. I know some people like to play around with it, but your body and yourself, you can literally work yourself into stress related diseases, right? And literally die from it. Like it's not a joke, right? A lot of people like to play games with this, and you can literally fatigue your whole body. You can mess up a lot of things. I'm not going to get into the specifics, right? I'm talking about from personal experience. But what you have to do and what can help a lot is meditation as well, right? And I'm trying to do this consistently. But and these are all things that I've seen that can improve your situation as well. Because meditation literally combats anxiety, stress, and the fight or flight response, right? And when we talk about, the corn-induced ED and you not performing at your best, a lot of times what happens is you tend to be in that fight or flight. And right, you're not as present, right? Because you have these flashbacks of the corn, and then you're wondering if your performance is going to be on point, right? You're wondering if you fail, what's going to happen. A lot of times you're thinking in the negative, let's be honest, right? Because it's that small voice in your head that's unsure about the habits and what you've done. But what's interesting, I found, is that when my habits were on point, I didn't even have these type of thoughts, right? And even if I did, which at first, absolutely it did happen, it tends to go away because you get the evidence that what you're doing is working well for you, right? So if you do all of those things, right, you put together the lifestyle stuff, you're getting your hydration, you're getting your sleep, meditating, right, is just so important. And it affects a part of our brain, right, that deals with stress response. I'm not going to get into the science, but it literally, right, can allow you to be calmer, enjoy your day-to-day basis a lot more, right? So that stress response, if you can just chill out, right, find 5 minutes, 10 minutes to do meditation, you're going to be golden, I'm telling you. Now, next point, social. Talk to women, right? You have to speak to more women. We're talking about rewiring yourself. Find some way, right? Whether that's, again, I've talked about it before, hobbies, sports, whatever it is, just be more social. You don't even have to necessarily go out, right, and be dating or doing that stuff. Although I believe you should be. At the end of the day, you just be more social, right? You see someone, maybe give them a compliment, right? Say something, right? All of those things. And just being around them is so key because, especially women you find attractive, because again, it rewires your brain away from the screens and towards the in real life activity, which is where you want to be getting your dopamine from, right? Now, we talked about the food as well, but and a lot of you are just eating junk food, and I get it, right? It's addicting, and they make these foods to keep you addicted to them, right? So that they can profit off of you. But be careful, right, with the foods, what you eat, and try to cut out the junk food. I mean, it's tough, right? But if you find those high protein foods that you can enjoy and you can make versions of them at home, do so. Try to avoid any inflammatory foods, right? And just eat those foods that keep you, feeling good, being healthy, right? Because at the end of the day, right, everything, all these habits that you choose to do or don't do will catch up to you. There is no getting out of it or escaping or thinking you can just one up, the universe and one up your body because you put garbage in, that's exactly what you get out, right? And I'll say another one here is just intermittent fasting, right? I always say this, but fasting again is one of the best tools you can use. And it's so important because it allows your body to reset, right? It does something to your mind to where if you've fasted before, you understand that it feels like your focus is here and you're not worried about food. You get to the point where you're not worried about food. And again, you don't want to take these things to the extreme, right? But just try them out and see how it feels for you, right? But the fasting literally just, it sharpens your mind and your body and you kind of get that hunter-gatherer vibe to where you want to go out and hunt, right? And eat, you want to get food. And you think about it, we have these biological, right, things within us, right? If you don't eat for a couple of days, you're gonna find if you're, let's say you don't have a lot of money, right? You don't have any food and you have to find some way to eat, you will do it. You'll do anything that it takes, right, to fix this, right? And you look at these things that we have wired into us. You also look at if someone's, an addict, right, to the corn. They keep going back over and over again, and they'll find some way to keep going back, however it is. And what that really reveals is you have so much power within you to do and achieve whatever you want, right? To beat this thing, right? But it's just the habits and the momentum that you have is in the negative direction. But if you can look at your situation, right, and look at the life you have right now, which ideally is probably not the life you want, and see what you can achieve and use that negativity as fuel, I'm telling you, you will change in an instant. Now, the next point I want to say that really will change a lot of you, right, and get you over that hump is you need to fail more, right? Because for a lot of you, you just are chilling. You're saying, okay, I'm not going to go and date. I'm just going to try to fix this thing on my own, and that'll be enough. And to be honest, the majority of you, that's probably not going to work. And the reason being because when you fail in one of those situations where you have the corn-induced ED, right, you're unable to perform, and she basically leaves, more than likely she's gonna leave you, right? She's not gonna stick around. What happens is it motivates you in just an insane way, right? The motivation that you get to improve your life, I'm telling you, this is a canon arc. If you don't know what canon arc is, it's basically just a scene in a movie for you, right? And this is your movie. And this is a scene where you turn things around. I'm telling you, it's one of the most motivating things. And it will motivate you to get in the gym to work out because you feel embarrassed. You say, I don't ever want, a woman or someone to experience that version of me. I'm going to change things. I'm going to turn them around. And I'm going to be the type of person, right, that is able to achieve the things that I desire and that I want. And I'm telling you, once you're comfortable, right, with being uncomfortable, failing a lot and trying, this thing is going to be a thing of the past, right? But you have to get to that point to where you're able to put yourself out there and say, I don't care if I fail, because I know that's one step closer, right? And I even went through my own failure journey where it took a couple times, but eventually, I got to the point where this is something that's, a thing of the past, right? You don't even think about it because you understand that your foundation and your habits are strong. And when that foundation is strong, you become a strong man, and this problem becomes a thing of the past. Now, if you enjoyed this video, man, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so help me hit that goal by tapping in with the channel, and click this next video on the screen if you want to learn more about this problem and how to solve it.